So, seemed to be kind of struggle. I still have to trim this. I think the drip rail, the gap isn't perfect there. I'll have to work on that a little bit. And then here, this gap is not terrible. I don't know if it needs to go back more. It seems to be right, but there's a little bit of work in need there. This back piece, I was going to explain that. What I did was on this original window, this is it. That's the original one. But I don't know. It works out, I think. I cut the end off the other window. So this is for the other side, except I cut it this way. This window is supposed to be like that, so I cut the end off, but it just works nicely with the way I did the other side. So now all I got to do is take this window frame, trim it down to match up to that, and it should be on the money there. Yeah, close enough. Except I will have to, because this is, with the roof being sloped, I'm going to have to do a pie cut and do the opposite of what I'm doing over here to this window. But yeah, let's get it together, and then we'll get an idea of what the car is going to look like here, fully chopped. At least the passenger side. Still have to do the driver's side. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much the look I was going for. It's gonna be a small window back there. I can't stand back on this side, but there's a bunch of work to do around here. Well, a whole lot of welding. I have to fix up these gaps a bit, so that's just going to be a grind and a weld. Same up here, I got to shave a little down off the top there. This side, just because of this back rail, is a little fatter. Didn't realize that, but I'll have to trim it just to blend it back in, and then pull this one out. But overall, she's getting there. It's not bad. I think I have about 5 or 6 hours into this, maybe. I don't even know if I have that. It's probably about 4 hours total into this so far, I think. Look at the time. It's 11:45. I came in like 9:30. Yeah, it's about 5 hours, I guess, somewhere around there. But yeah, it's getting there. It's getting to what I wanted. It's not crazy low in the front. Like, still plenty of windshield, which is fine. It'll work with the window in the back. Have not touched this side yet. As you know, I practiced on the passenger side. Made sure I got everything the way I wanted there. So at least the side I'm going to walk up to is going to work out. It'll take half the time to do that side now. Yeah, that back window, the car dropped another 3 inches or 4 inches or so. Should be a good setup, especially with this thing at a 318. Whoa, should be a burnout machine, eh? Yeah, I need a little work there, but well, I guess that's gonna be it for tonight. We'll be back at her tomorrow night. Ooh. It's not crazy hot, but it is humid. The floor is just wet. Okay. We have a game plan. Seeing how we practiced on the passenger side, this side should go together much easier. So, seeing how we got this tacked in, I'm going to quickly do the windows. I think you've seen me do it, but I might break it down a little more just so you kind of see what's happening, because I think I was just time-lapsing most of the other side. So let's start with the front one, and I'll kind of lapse through it, but I'll explain when I'm starting to do some cutting and stuff what's happening. Okay, what I like to do is I will line up my door post up till it's roughly where I want, and it lines up with the bottom. It's hard to do with one hand here. Let's try this way. So I'll line this up so my gaps are sort of what I want, and then it comes down. I'll make a mark, giving myself some extra room because this isn't straight. And then, so I'll make a mark at the bottom. I'll make a mark at the bottom, give myself about 3/8. This is gonna come up. I'll pick the straightest part, I'll do a cut. Reasoning for that is because the car door gets wider as it goes down. So I'm cheating, I have a spare door top, so I can cut that out. And then I'll do the back half as a separate piece, but I'll have to do a slice just to line up with the lean of the post. If you don't have these, what you'd have to do is the piece I cut down here, you have to retrofit it up here to fill the gap. And yeah, for some reason when I do my back windows, well, I shouldn't say for some reason, but it works out with the way I did the post. I don't have to add any material. So what I've done is this is the up post on the back door, or on the passenger side. I'm putting this one on the driver's side, and I'm turning the rotation of it, because this used to go like this on the passenger side. So now I just cut it off, and then I do a rotate, kind of like the way I did this door top. And you can see it just, well, it needs some trimming, but when I get it in there, it'll fit pretty good. I did notice it gets a little fat over here, but I'll fix that up. And then I have to do the same for the front door. This one I kind of got her on the lean there, but either way, I'll kind of show you as I cut them and go. All right, I just tacked this together as a crappy example, but this post is not bad. This is up, gap's okay here. I think my door just needs to go ahead, but these cars never fit very good from the first place. Now, normally if you're doing a chop and you don't have a donor door top, you're gonna go, like, you know, you'll get your first half in, you'll get your second half in, and then you have this gap now. So the piece I cut out of the front, you would trim and try to make it work into here. They're never usually 100%, but it's a good starting point, gets it into that spot. You know, you just do the slice, buzz it in. But because I have a spare door top, what I'll end up doing is I'll be able to trim it up to the piece without having to do the filler. So it just makes life a lot easier. Plus, being that my door is leaned back, I'll have to do some wiggle room to the top here to get things to line up, because by the time I get this on here, the door will probably clink down a bit, so I'll have to stretch it back up, similar to what I had to do up here to fix the angle of this roof, because I did a slope chop. See, we're kind of in the money there. Just did a little tack there, just a tack on this section we put in. There is tons of fiddling around, but for now, we're just trying to get the shape. We'll be revisiting everything many times. So let's start on this thing. Not sure if I explained this, so I'll do it again, but so this is not terrible. I got to clean up this edge here to get that gap a little better. Coming up here, because of the different posts, the way they're different, we're going to like that one's just got to come up a hair. I'm going to line up the gaps here, and then I'll smooth everything to work. Right now something's not jiving, but it just kind of has this broken look to it. I think everything's got to come up a bit. This might have to come down a hair, and that's got to come up a bit. So yeah, but you've been watching me mucking with it. Like I say, I just got to trim a little more, trim up there. We're going to get this line straight across. This might have to come up a little bit. I think it's just hitting that inside that's all messed up. But we'll get this tacked in. It's going to be sticking out. I'll have to do that slice to the post to lean her in, front and back, because you can see back here, this door naturally wants to come out. So this should be doing the same, like that. That should be how the door will be sitting. And then we just kind of do the lean in a little bit. This, like I say, it might come out. So this is happening soon. I'm just going to get this tacked quick, and then we can start mucking with this part here with the back window and whatnot. Okay, so we're tacked together. This looks pretty straight. You can see the doors kicking out again. So what I got to go in is I got to slice these to lean it in. And it's just going to be a temporary thing till I see how much this pops out. The other thing to do is, because this wasn't straight and it was pressing on here, so basically I just walked a zip cut through there. It usually gives you enough gap just to get a little bit of play everywhere, and it's a nice gap to weld. So it's zip cuts are pretty multi-purpose there. So I'm going to slice these bottoms. I'll pull her in a bit just to see how she leans in. Get her close to the front door. This door is not 100%, but we're still in the fitting stage here, so we got a long way to go. But at least I can get this in, then I can start working this back window to get it working. So yeah, so do the slice, lean, see how she looks. Okay, well that worked out nice. Still mixed. This says it's straight. I think the top part here is giving the optical illusion it's got a kink in it, but anyways, we just got that tacked in, looking good. So now I think I'm just going to start by centering this window. So I'm going to trim up this edge, clean up the edge. I'll probably tape off the window just for sparks so I don't pit up the glass. And then, yeah, get it centered. Figure out roughly how I want to get my profile. How much I'm going to have to cut out on top. What I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to lap some steel, only to cut it out after. So I'll be able to get up to about here. Somewhere I'm going to put some steel in up to this far on the glass, either side. Up into the roof. And that way I can rebuild this section after. This will be like a new piece altogether. So yeah, so let me get a measurement here, figure out what I want to do. I'll show you how I do that, and then yeah, or get this trimmed up. I don't know, got a few things. I guess I'll trim this up, tape the glass up, then I can get this down as low as I want so that I can buzz the whole back section here. Okay, we got that window tacked in. We had a few little sparks, but... So, I'll end up having to add a filler down here. I just tacked it in a few places wherever I could. Fits good. They've got a few gaps, so we'll make a filler piece to go in there. That's no big deal. Now we're going to figure out what we need for a piece of metal for the roof here, for the center section. So usually if you got a roof flow, you don't want to have any breaks or anything weird going into the back window. So what you end up doing, hopefully I can show this well, is to take a straight edge and you'll kind of walk it down. So you can see this is essentially what I gotta do. If I had weight, this would be down, but that's whatever. That roof is okay. We know from about that point to the window is what we gotta do for a filler. So if I was to go, it's pretty close to the top of this edge. And it's not a crazy transition between the two. Like you can see, looks like a big gap. It's not terrible. So if I was to look at this, I need roughly, I'll probably go with a 10 to 11 inch strip. Probably more than that. Let's go like a foot, only because it gets smaller as I go over here. These edges are going to be a little different. So you can see how the roof line, right now, there's this bump on it, but you see how the window is not here? So we have to recreate that, but the window is already wanting to come down here. So this one, I guess the 10 mark is still about close. It's not as aggressive here now. So by the time this all transitions, we're gonna lose some of this crown in the top. This will just start flattening out. And we pretty much have to do that to match up with this window. So, well, let me cut a strip. I'm gonna cut it. For the most part, it should tuck underneath here. But might sit on top. I don't know, we'll find out. I'm gonna cut a 12 inch by whatever the heck I need here. We'll end up cutting it out again anyways, but I don't know, 40. I don't know, let's just go with a, nah, we won't go 4 foot. Go with a 40 by 12 piece. That way we can kind of tuck it in there, trim it to follow the window nice. We'll come up, we'll ram a couple screws in, see how things look, and then yeah, whatever. I'll do that, we'll see what it looks like. Alright, so this is looking worse than good, but that's alright, because it's going to happen. I was trying to do this without using any special tools, but looks like I'll have to bust out the English wheel a bit. There's just, well, the guy should shrink this, but I don't know if I need to go up so high, so it's not that big of a deal. And down here is just still a little low, but when I do the cut through here and I bring the two panels together, it'll be good. So if you kind of do a ballpark, hold on here, let me fix my camera. So if you look, if you can focus, having a hard time here. Can't really see. There's a little bit of gap. If you had to do that in a filler world, that'd be, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch or so. It's not terrible, but we shouldn't say that. It'd actually be less. But we just have too much material up here. You can see I got these high spots, but I think I need to add a little bit of bow into here. It should naturally do it, but I need more in the corners. It doesn't matter, I'll cut this out and I'll make another piece here. Like, this is going to be a series of pieces, but this one needs a little bit, nothing major. I guess you could bend it on your knee, but I need a little extra this way yet, just to get rid of some of this. So I'll pull this out. I'm going to run it through the English wheel. Basically, I'm just going to walk it this way a bit. I'll walk the edges a little bit. I'm going to draw a little road map on there quick, what I got to do. And we'll test fit it again. Okay, so we got a little bit of crown in there, nothing major. Could have done it with your knee. Top's not bad, but the bottom I'm not happy with. I was gonna cut and bring the layers up and then weld them, but I don't fully know where this layer is. So I'm gonna clean this edge. I'm gonna weld it on top, but I'll be able to cut through and do a butt weld after. So let me break this loose. I'm gonna break all my spot welds and I'm gonna redo this quick. Okay, here we go. New roof line in. Well, redone. I know there's people out there that are gonna lose their sheet that I'm welding over top. I'm doing a lap weld, and it's not a permanent thing. This is just easy because the roof still holds the shape. So I leave as much metal as I can so I don't have to rebuild everything and you don't got a big floppy mess. The roof does want to stay there, so cool. I put it underneath the lip and that didn't work out for me. So I welded it on top. So for right now, if you look at the overall, I only have one hand here, but if I hold this, I have nothing. Let me find something heavy to put on here. How's it? See if that works. Not heavy enough. Let's put that right here then. There we go. Now let's go. Okay, other than I'm on a weld. I don't know if you can see, there's almost no gap. I don't even think I have a 1/16 of an inch under here. So, I have no idea how to make that focus for that. But you can see, there's no gap. There's a little bit of gap at the bottom, but that's just because I'm stuck on a weld. So it looks good. So now, I'm gonna finish up all my sides, all that stuff. But overall, I know this shape is nice. My roof it's flowing good this way, it's flowing good this way. Now I gotta build these sides. What I'm gonna do after is I'm gonna do a butt weld, and all you do is you run the zip cut through the edge, and I take it a piece at a time, and then I tack it together, and then you can pull all of this mess that's in here out after. Same with this thing. I'll have a nice flush weld. You'll almost need not a lot of Bondo at all. Yeah. It'll be easy peasy. So, like you've seen, I had to cut it out again. It's metal. Things don't work. There's no point getting frustrated with it. You just deal with it. You can cut it out, you can re-weld it, it's steel. If it's no good, you can throw the piece away, make a new one. There's no right or wrong to doing it. If you don't possess the skills, you can just do this and just mud it. It's not perfect, but it'll work. Okay, so these are a little more intricate pieces. I'm gonna blindly just waste some steel and just I don't know if I can make it all in one piece. Like, it's gonna have to go into this roof line. So I don't know if I'm better off making one piece. I don't know, I think I can do it in one. But this is here, this is holding the roof now. This is holding the window, holding the roof. Now I can proceed to do my one slice I wanna do up here and see what this does. See what happens to the pillar when I do that. So I'm gonna clean some stuff off the car because everything seems to want to crash on the ground. And let's make a slice and see what happens. Okay, like I said, this is gonna look a lot worse before it looks better. But I think we can do this in about 2 pieces. But you see, I was doing a slice up on the roof. It just gave this a nice relief here. Now it's just kind of sitting lazily where it wants to. I'll probably pull it out a little bit, but this is okay. Like I say, you want to work in the crown. This is just easy to body work, all on the roundy bits. If you do on the flat, you're just yuck. You don't want to do that. You always want to do your stuff in a curve. So like I say, this will get cut off, but right now this is holding the structure, holding the roof together. As floppy as this looks, she's still good. So I'm gonna cut a piece that roughly fits this shape. I think I can do this in one piece-ish. So I'm gonna clean up this edge. I'm gonna clean up this edge, but I'm just gonna cut it. I'm gonna measure out a loose sheet metal, and I'm gonna try to hand form. So everything's here. There's got strength to it, so I'm actually gonna use the car to help mold the steel. I will show you in a minute once I measure this up. So pretty much I'm just gonna measure this and this way, figure out a piece that I need, and then I can make this one as a separate piece. I might have to do a third piece just in here, just to make life easy. I don't know. We'll see how the steel wants to work there. I could work at that, but whatever. Now I'm babbling, but I'll get that piece cut and then I'll show you what it looks like. Getting close. I know my roof line is up here, so I'm going to try to make something if I can that's going to disappear here. I don't know, I'll keep it kind of straight. I don't know. We'll see. All I'm going to do is bend it on my knee. Oops, that was a bit much. That was a little much. That was a lot. I don't want that much. What do I need down here? This again, I'm going to bend on my knee. All sheet metal. You can just move it by hand. It'll sort of do what you want. This will be a little tricky. This here, this one's here. This one we got too much meat in here. Let's follow this one up here. Get rid of it. I'll do it this way for now. Just take that off. Cool. So it's starting to take some shape. There is too much material here. You can see there's some weirdness happening. So we'll probably have to do a slice, or we'll cut this out. We'll make a new piece. Up here, it's going all right. I need a little more here. I'm pulling it too tight. So I might pull this back, try to get this body line crease. Like I've tried to do a body line that maybe comes here and just kind of disappears. I'll have to work that out, figure that out yet. Because when you look at the car at this angle, you got your roof and then the roof just kind of disappears into nothing. I mean, it's fine. I just want to get a little fancier if I can. So somewhere in this vicinity, I want to try to run a crease that just disappears into this panel. We'll see how it goes. I think if I pull these out, I draw a line, I can kind of give her a little kink there, and then I can work with it into the rest. But as you can see, at the upper part, I got too much metal here. When I try to push this down, there's weird stuff happening. It's kind of trying to break a whole bunch of stuff. It's like here. It might be fine. Oh, maybe if I put a couple screws. Let me put a couple screws in here first. Maybe this crease will just naturally happen. Screws are great. Just though, like I say, there's too much meat. If I do a slice, just a slice, you'll see everything will just work. It'll just fit there. Up here, this is working. I gotta draw something. I think if I go to this corner of the window and just draw an invisible line, I can make something. Even though, like I say, there's no reference. Normally the car had a roof line that went like that, and it's just followed the roof line, but we don't, that doesn't exist anymore. And like I say, it's not terrible, but I'm going to try to step it up a little and get it a little nicer here. So I'll probably pop these screws, push the panel out to square it up a bit, and then lay it back in again. And it might build just a line to come from the window up into the top. We'll try it and we'll see what happens. Might work. Might not. Well, this is looking pretty good. We still got too much meat up here, but overall I'm liking the look of it. This one needs more work here. I think I gotta do a slice a little further, and then I have too much steel there. I gotta get rid of that yet. You can see it's here to wherever it is here. This is too much overlap. I'll get rid of some of that. That'll transition nice. Here's not bad. I might put my planishing hammer in and just stretch it. But yeah, we got that one. Then we just gotta make this filler piece a little bit here to here. So back here I've clearly got too much meat, so I'm just gonna blindly do a cut and see if I can blend the two together. So I sort of got the shape. I'm still not happy with this. It's a little pointy. So I still got to do some work on there. I've zapped in this part. This feels not terrible. It's got to get stretched out a little bit here. What you're watching me do there was basically I had lapped it like I said I was going to do. But I run the zip cut in and I cut the excess steel out. So I've showed this before in other videos. But like basically I ran the zip cut, do a spot weld, I can push it down, do a flush weld. So there's no, it's flush now, like it's a butt weld. So you just zip, 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 go up to all your spot welds, push down, zap it, and then when you're done you can take out the excess pieces. Like that's that one. This is the one that was in the front here. So they're amongst all the scrap pieces now. My other chunks of roof. So I got to continue that with all of this to get her flush and the roof. Still got to do the other side. This one's not bad. I'm not sure. You can see it's just a wee bit high here. I don't know if I do that, if it wants to go down. It's kind of, I don't know. I'm a little mixed on it right now. I might, just for the hay of it, I'll just do a slash, like a zip cut in the middle there, and then it can kind of relief this and let it sandwich in a bit. Well, starting to take some shape. Started just tacking stuff in here, but long way to go. Long way to go. I still got to do the other side. So you can see this had that weirdness. I just did a relief cut in there, and now it's pretty good. I've still got to like cut and tack this. I got to cut this out and tack it. Like this is all butt welded now. This has started the butt weld. This is butt welded in. So you can see on the inside if you can. Let's do my camera up here. So you can see I'm starting to cut the excess out and then butt weld it. So yeah, I'm still not quite happy here, but again, this could be just a zip cut in there just so it seems high. You can't see it on camera, but like this part feels okay. I think I got to stretch this a little bit, but this here feels a little high. I got to just do one cut in here or something just to make things go away a bit. And then I still got to do this whole other side. Basically, we got to repeat all of this again. But yeah, get the general idea. Again, I did terrible today. I didn't keep track of time, so I've already busted that whole theory. If I had to guess, I think I have about 4 hours or so in today. So that brings me to what, 10 hours in the shop? So it's not terrible. We got everything tacked together. All the doors are tacked together. You get an overall feel what they're going to look like. This window is just monstrous, but it'll change once I put a wing window in it, because that'll be a pretty big wing window. So yeah, but I guess next installment I'll start on the other side. I'll finish up welding in the back there. Yeah, we're getting there. It's not crazy yet. Well, not whatever. Just babbling, talking to myself at this point. But yeah, folks seem to dig this. It's kind of cool. I like building this stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.